sure it is.
He's saying they're prepping for something. And he also indicated they got shields.
There's a lot more people there. Yeah, the heat's just getting worse. Yeah.
Please don't leave the feed. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. So he said he thinks they're prepping for something. So we got somebody boots on the ground there. See, I like this kind of stuff because some people on the camera there on the side talk to one another and they kind of share a little bit about what they see, stuff that we can't really see at this distance or behind the screen. There is at least 30 personnel there.
Yeah,
it looks like about 30 law enforcement officers.
Yeah.
So we'll see this.
Well, it's weird. Like they've been here for this long. It's like how are they not? You know, like what are they gonna just start searching the woods now? It's a good idea. Hours and hours and hours later.
Yep. Yeah, he raises great points.
I know that they put out there that they were going to be asking the residents if they could look on their properties, so maybe they were searching nearby homes.
Houses there.
Yeah.
We got some chips and stuff too. If you need some
big party, chips, dips.
We literally brought it out.
Cookies. Everyone come out. Watch a manhunt.
Yeah, they put out the law enforcement were going to area residences to ask to search properties.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see it in there. We're going to start.
All right, let's get this party started. We're going to get some movement. The movement will indicate whether we feel he's out there or not, or if that's not him behind the car, then but they have a point. Like they've been sitting here like for hours, man. We've known about this car since probably like 10:30 this morning when we went live. About 10:30 this morning about this live. And that's when the car and the hat was found. This is only 8.5 miles away from his family's home.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Ammo. Yeah, I saw the headline story this morning. I was like, well, that's crazy. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're gonna go to the field? Like, you don't think they're gonna check? Like, you know, like, of course they have your name. Like, you're right here.
It's like my thought would be like it's better chance if you go into like some random wooded area.
Well, that's what I was saying. I'm like, there's plenty of woods up north you can go to. Like, you can go to Superior National Forest.
All right, Magnolia's going to end the poll because Magnolia has some new information.
Which is weird to think. Okay, if that happened in Mille Lacs overnight or whatever this morning, and they're still down here, it's like, well, who's
poll completed?
Right. Unless like.
Yeah, no worries.
We got another photo.
It's this. Take another car, and then was going to meet her someplace. Yeah, and it's all just
look.
Which is probably what's happening. But,
the weird thing also was he had like a temporary like rental place of this kind of skeevy looking apartment in Minneapolis.
So what's up? What is all this stuff?
Something out in Norwood or something, wasn't there?
I don't know about Norwood. Yeah. That's not where he lived. Like I know he had like a main house like out west.
Well, they were in Green Isle where there was a family place, and I thought something was happening in Norwood, but maybe that's not. That's just internet fake news.
Yeah.
Fake news, he said. Fake news.
I got you.
Uh-oh, where are we going? We got movement.
And
They're moving.
Just
Grid search.
They've just been standing back by there's like a white thing.
Look at this. They got the dog. I saw the dog. You see the dog? There's a dog. They got a dog with them.
They're definitely like there's someone we're trying to fan out in the field a little bit.
It looked like a black bag and a blue tarp. But they are. Move the camera. They got a dog with them. I saw the dog.
Yeah, no, they're going into the field.
Oh yeah.
They're going into the field looking for this guy.
You want to look over here? I don't know. You can't really see any better. But you can.
Yeah, Yeah, so
I can't quite tell, it's too far away from me, but it does look like a cowboy hat.
Oh, yeah.
All right, got another car coming in, and look at this. We got
When they
movement.
search the car.
Yeah, there's way more cars.
Right, it's like they're going in and searching that woodlot or something, but some of them are just kind of
They didn't go to the right. They went to the left.
Yeah. I have to imagine this is better. Want me to hold this? Okay. Oh, you can put it up on top of it.
All right, so they're going into the cornfield or the field there, not cornfield, field, and searching for this guy.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, look, and the white. All right, so yeah, they're going. Now this group here is going to the left into this field. I saw a dog. I saw a dog on a leash.
There's a house back in this woodlot in here. There's an old house that got hit by a tornado. I think it's tornado. I don't know if it's hail or fire or something. Like years and years and years. Yeah.
All right, so this guy's going in.
Yeah, and it's been rotted.
Let me see if we got any other feeds up that's doing the actual search. They're in there. So this guy, they feel, is still out there. That does not appear to be a body. So they're all in that field. I switched sides. Hugh, thank you. Angie, thank you.
All the days to be too lazy. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Murky says he's not a deer. Ellie can't just drag him out of the woods and flop him on the road. Body stays in place for investigation.
No. I have it at my hotel. I have a hat. And
All right, so they are.
see, and I
Next.
thought, gosh, if it rains again, that's why I brought mine. Because I've had rain like the last 3 or 4 days.
JLR Investigates, come on in. We're watching real time this search for the assassin, 57-year-old
They're not letting anyone else in.
Vance Boelter. Yeah. Move it to the left. Put it to the left some. Let's see what they're exactly they're doing here.
My husband's like, "You told
Yeah,
me
put it
to
to the left.
go there?"
Hunt for this dangerous criminal. Thank you, MP. Yeah, we just been having overall busy month. Busy. This is one of our most busiest months. Haven't taken a break. But we're born for this. We're ready.
Where he's at with his plan. Again, it doesn't seem like if he lives in Green Island, he knows the area.
He lives about 9 miles away. 8.5 to 9 miles away. So anyone in the chat from this area, like in Minnesota? Sean says, this is one of 4 locations that are doing a full box grid closer onto his location. Extreme caution due to booby traps he has set up in multiple locations. Searched. Source, Minnesota Highway Patrol Sergeant. Thank you, Sean. So we got some insight here, and thank you for that. Booby traps. Booby traps he set up in law. I mean, what is up with this guy? Seems like a lot of planning and preparation here, right? Thank you for the comment. I'm sure you're in the know, Sean. Sean Victory. Love the last name. Victory. Thank you for the tremendous insight. Any other locals? We share. What's up? What is going on here? They're looking at 4 locations, full box grid. Again, folks, it's about 9 miles away from where he lived with his wife, Jenny, and I'm assuming his at least 25-year-old daughter, and there appears to be another sibling too, and possibly another adult living at that rural home. I'm not going to put these other names besides the wife whose name is already out there. There is adult children that apparently lived in that house. On top of when Jenny got detained, there was multiple family members in that vehicle. Jenny was the driver, the wife who went to a bank earlier that day. Now, they could have let her go because she's fully cooperating and they need her. Maybe they need her. Maybe they made a deal with her. Maybe she's already lawyered up. This is definitely a Fed case. You know, matter of fact, I'll tell you what, folks, let's be real. If he's caught alive, this is a death penalty case. This guy will be 100% indicted by the federal government for what he did. This is a death penalty case on the federal level. You already heard Pam Bondi and Kash Patel talk about this. It seems like this is a federal case. So this is death penalty level. So maybe the wife made a deal. Maybe she detained, she purged, got a lawyer. They offered her a deal.
Real for real. It's definitely a
keep
federal
her out
case.
in the meantime. And, you know, I don't know, but it just seems like something. Maybe he instructed the wife. Maybe the wife was under coercive control in a sense. Who knows? But they were on that wife who got caught an hour and a half to the north yesterday after taking $50,000 out from the bank. Willow Grace, thank you for being a member of JLR Investigates. He's out there in the woods, booby traps. Got to tread light, like, you know, like IEDs and different things, like setting your foot on something, man. You got to be very careful, man. This is why this is brave. These law enforcement do not get appreciated enough. They are out there risking their life right now. They could be blown up. They could be shot. They kiss their children and their wives and spouses, significant others each day. I mean, the law enforcement out there is looking for a madman. Would you have the courage to go out there? If you knew a guy was out there impersonating police, would you go out there and go there and walk side by side looking for this guy? These people are heroes. They're brave. They're trained. Most of all of us run away in danger. Run as far as we can away. These people run into the fire. They don't get appreciated enough.
That's facts, bro. That's facts. I mean,
I would say extremely brave.
They don't get enough credit.
All right, so what do we got? So yeah, it's kind of like we're just like wondering. Dun dun dun. You notice the white, I guess that would be a Bearcat SWAT vehicle, moved down, turned around. Now it's facing. I think they're zoomed in, Cat, far enough, honestly, because they're a significant distance. You know, those cameras can only zoom in a certain amount. I don't think it zooms in anymore. I'd like to learn more. Sean Victory again. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Very grateful. Sean Victory says, full box grid closure. This man owns over 9 acres of land in this area, according to local records. Sean is on it. Aerial view shows 7 possible structures to include 50 Connex used for possible bunker or strongholds. Whoa. Possible bunkers, underground bunkers involved here.
Let me find out Vance is about
survivalist, someone that would be nowhere to hide under
based
a bunker.
on everything we know. I mean, you worked overseas.
All right, we got something going on. They're on the move. Looks like they're more about to go in. Looks
Mhm.
like more about to go in. Thank you,
Wouldn't be
Sean, for the
surprised.
insight. Again, thank you. All right, they're going back into the field more. More law enforcement is looking for 57-year-old Vance. All right, so we got
they're
teams.
going in the fields here, Ian.
We got teams. Follow the camera. Hopefully the camera turns to the left, or they move a little bit. This reminds me of Cavalcante.
I'm as
100%.
tight as I can get here.
When Cavalcante, look, their machinery's moving.
Okay, they on the move, y'all.
All right, they're going in. Michelle, thank you. Very grateful. Thank you. What's going on here? They're all going to the left. They're not going to the right in the trees. Might not be political at all. Something else may spark this and use the protest as a cover or diversion. Very possible. Very possible here. You can just use it as an opportunity because of no kings
Stand
and all
by.
that. Yeah, very possible.
I'm checking latency here.
If we're talking about
It's
booby
up.
traps,
It's on a 20-second delay.
if we're talking about booby traps, bomb shelters, bunkers, sophistication, is dressing up as an officer, it requires lots of planning here.
Oh, this guy, he ready for it. He ready for whatever. At this stage.
They're going to encircle him. Now somebody is going over there on the right. They may be looking for a body. He doesn't strike me as the prison for life type. Jeanette, you are right. He doesn't appear that he's ready to go to prison for the rest of his life. Either his mindset is he completes his mission.
It's a Minnesota plate.
All right, they're saying it's a Minnesota plate, the vehicle there.
I just have to call in.
They say it's a Minnesota plate. It's crazy stuff, folks. Yeah, this $50K was in a safe deposit box. That's what's being reported. Wife was seen on surveillance taking out $50K in a safe deposit box yesterday morning before she took off in her car. But for not being detained long term, it's just
It's 301st because we're south of the Carver County line.
All right. So you heard. South of the Carbon County line.
Let me paint the picture. There's a Bearcat down there. Yeah, there's a Bearcat down there. There's state troopers, armored state troopers that are in the soybean fields off to our left. They've got a canine unit up there at 25 and 301st. There's another Bearcat on this side. It's that white vehicle that you see. That black one, I'm pretty sure that's Burnsville's Bearcat down there. There's a canine team coming up on the car right now. Car's on the
All right, see the dog?
with the doors wide open.
Got the
There's a
dog.
blue towel down behind
Blue towel. Blue towel, he said. Behind the car. All right, so K9.
Ferguson Highway 25. This is looking south. We're north of the scene right now, probably by about 3/4 of a mile.
All right, so they're looking south on 301 to 25. That's where they're at. So let me look exactly where he's at, but it appears they're up there on the intersection of maybe 182nd or 190 and 301, and they're looking south. He said we're looking south to 301 and 25. I think that's what he said. They zoomed it in a little bit more. Kat, thank you. Very grateful. Thank you. All right, they got the dog. That might be Yoda from Vortec. We love our canines. We love these canines, man.
By about 3/4 of a mile.
I love look. They're fiddling through some stuff here on the ground.
You better be careful.
There's
from
something on the
booby
ground
traps
there
and all
that they are looking at or opening. Maybe get the robotic dog. Get the robotic dog out there.
Seriously.
You see the dog on a leash. 2 of them. There are 2 dogs. No, 1 dog. 1 dog. Okay, they're sniffing. They're sniffing. The dog is sniffing. There it is. There it is. They set the dog behind the car. The dog is sniffing. Look.
That is Buick.
Oh, yeah. I like
the
this.
doors that are wide open here.
Oh, okay. There's a scent. Look at that. He
Dog
sniffed,
picked up the scent,
and then the
y'all.
dog went right into the field. They got a scent. This dog got a scent. Yeah, he got a scent. Whoa.
It's only a matter
They
of time
sniffed
now.
the back of the car, and the dog went towards the field. Look at that. There's another dog out there. There's 2 dogs. 9 acres isn't many. Even 9 acres of timber. I am on 2 now and lived on 10 and 100 before. LE will have the entire perimeter covered if they are moving in to search. Going to have a dog get a scent. And it appears like the dog picked something up because you saw the dog was behind that car and then zoomed right across into this field. See if it finds a scent. Yeah, this is real time, folks. We are live. The manhunt for this assassin continues. Wow, folks. He put the camera down or something like that, but
This
you
is
could
crazy.
clearly see that the dog, well, now the dog's back on the trail. Maybe nothing. Maybe nothing. False scent that went nowhere. We got scents. You got scent.
They're really playing the left side of that field. That's weird though that the dog would pick up a scent and then they, retrieve back.
All right, so yeah. Okay, they're coming back from the field. See them starting to march back? Bunkers, booby traps, looking for any type of something that maybe takes you underground. Maybe that's what they're looking for. As Sean previously said.
I wouldn't be
Sandy
surprised
thinks
if
the
Vance
hat
was
is
all ready for all this.
on the road bothers her. It feels staged. It feels staged, the cowboy hat. I kind of thought maybe like a red herring, kind of just throw the hat out the window to leave people confused. I mean, what does a hat singly being on the ground in the middle of a rural road mean? I mean, he threw it out the window to try to get rid of evidence. Why wouldn't he just at least pull over and throw the hat somewhere else so it couldn't be found? Why would you just put a hat out there by the road? Or is he acting really crazy and just not thinking this through properly? Right? Not thinking this all the way through.
I mean, I agree with you, but he might be a little smarter than we think.
Not thinking this all the way through properly.
I don't know, JLI.
We shall see where this goes. Continuous coverage round the clock here of this manhunt for Vance Boelter, the suspected lawmaker assassin. Killed 2, a representative and her spouse, and wounded another 2, state senator and his spouse, all during the early morning hours.
I don't think Vince gonna have these people catch him.
Friday night into Saturday. Saturday morning, wife Jenny seen taking out $50,000 from a safe deposit box at a bank, and caught later to the north in a vehicle
She was
at a
out of here.
Casey's convenience store with cash, a gun, passports, but they let her go. They let her go. How does the wife not know about this? How does the wife? It's
Effective, healthy blood pressure support takes more than innovation. It takes vision. At Human,
sleeps with them every day, right? Don't you think the wife would know at least
Of course, she knows.
how he's feeling and how he's thinking? I think so. Absolutely. Marge, thank you. I mean, how does the wife not know? But they also appear to be at some points living in separate homes. So I put me to the right, and they're looking in this field to the left. For people who are just jumping in, that vehicle that you see in the distance with the doors open, that's a vehicle affiliated with him. The reporters there at the scene said it had Minnesota plates, and just a little bit from this location, the cowboy hat that he was seen wearing, the same cowboy hat, was found on the side of the road. Not at this location, it's a different location. Vicky RN says, thanks for providing the coverage in the chat. It's great to see everyone's ideas and theories. Yes, because that's what it is. Lack of information. We're trying to put the pieces together. We're trying to see different reports and put all the pieces together, try to understand what is up. Because we are in a fluid situation.
Facts.
It's all fluid. I think they want to get this guy. The longer this drags out, I mean, who knows? It is also the weekend. I mean, this is crazy.
They definitely can't let this boil over till tomorrow.
So CNN puts out the report a couple minutes ago, another update, and they say authorities are still searching for a suspect in the Minnesota lawmaker shootings. Here's where things stand. They said a manhunt has been going on now for 36 hours after the killing of a Minnesota state lawmaker and her husband, and the shooting of another legislator and his wife. Police said they are combing the area of Sibley County here, where they found a second vehicle there, that black vehicle, belonging to the man they named as the suspect in the shootings, Vance Boelter. Authorities are asking residents in this area here to remain vigilant. I'm telling you, these manhunts are scary, especially when you leave rural. Now, I know some of the locals there are pumping their shotgun and waiting. Probably pumping their shotguns and waiting. Sitting on their rocking chairs. You know, when I covered Cavalcante, I talked to many of these locals, man, and you know, they're ready. Trust me, they're ready. The locals are ready. The locals are ready. And if any, the locals look out for locals. You don't play with locals like this. You don't. We don't. Everyone sticks together, and they will protect each other like a big family. You and your neighbors, they all come together. So if there's some females living there that are all by themselves, some of the males would probably go there and try to help them. Arm up, start locking your doors. Stay vigilant. I mean, it's not a populated area. It doesn't look like a lot. They said the town only had a few hundred. We got a video, though. I'm going to play this video of the shooter, Vance. And we'll take you back here in a second. We're going to play a video of him. We got him on video. We're going to share.
Oh, my name is Vance Boelter. I just go by Vance. No other names that I use. I live in Grinnell, Minnesota, about an hour away from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. I'm affiliated with 2 funeral homes. I work full-time for Wolf Funeral Home, which is an intake location for about 6 funeral homes. And we also do all the intake for the National Cremation Society and the Neptune Society for all their cremation customers as well. So I mainly do removals at this point. So I work at Wolf full time, and then I also work for another funeral home called Metro First Call, and they also do traditional removals at nursing homes, assisted living apartments, but they also have contracts with medical examiner's office. So like one contract is the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office. So we'll do removals, which we're working with a lot of police officers and death investigators at the location where a decedent is found. Could be a crime scene or just a natural death. And our role is to just take the decedent from that place of death to the medical examiner's office. And so between those 2 locations, I'm working about 6 days a week. What else here? Family and pets. I have a wife and 5 kids, and we have 2 pets, German Shepherds. Fun fact about myself, I've been in the food industry about 30 years, and that led to an opportunity. I was invited to the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is located in Central Africa. When I was in high school, the country was called Zaire. That's a little bit more familiar with people, but it's the largest, second largest country in Africa, right in the middle in the center there, and was asked a couple years ago to go and see what I could do for ideas in helping their food supply system. Their population is about 100 million people, and they import 80% of their food currently. So some of the food companies I worked for in the past were Farm to Fork, like Del Monte Foods and Golden Plump Poultry, where we did everything from at Del Monte, we planted the products to harvested them to process them and then shipped them out. In Golden Plump Poultry, we had our own hatcheries, grow out barns with the farmers, and then processing plants. So between those 2 companies, I have some experience with agriculture. And so over in the Democratic Republic of Congo, I had some ideas they thought were pretty promising, which the company I was working for at the time wasn't interested in doing anything in Africa. So I talked with my wife, and we decided I just put in my 2-week notice, and we just go off on our own to try to do these projects to help out in Africa. So we're doing farming and fishing projects in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And to help pay the bills, I just started working at a funeral home because the shift worked good for my schedule with the other things I was doing. And that led to some classes at DMAC, which led to this course. So just learning more about the funeral industry. And I think that covers everything. And I will look forward to seeing you in class, and we'll go from there.
Whoa, folks. He spilled the beans on himself. Funeral homes, working with the dead, Congo, things with farming. Whoa, seems like he knows his stuff. What do you mean you work with the dead? I actually heard a report yesterday. And security, too. Don't forget the security, because some of the people said, I thought he worked security. He's like the man of all trades, all the survival stuff. He knows about bodies, and he worked with police. Whoa. countries. Again, I told you he had some sort of security company that done a lot of security for foreign countries. So what in the heck? Whoa.
Like the new aerials here, so I should be able to have that set in the next 15 minutes.
Definitely getting a lot of survivalist type vibes here, man, with this guy. For sure. Holy smokes, folks.
What?
Unless he's lying about his credentials. But that's insane, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely insane.
Everybody and their mother has their Gero packs and live views out here right now. I mean, the cell bandwidth here wasn't designed for
Live views. So he just said can't sell live out there.
If somebody can call Gary Campus and get Skylink down here.
Who's talking? That is most likely the journalist that's there. All right, so we are live. We are in a very remote area, 301 Street Avenue in 25 in the Green Isle, Minnesota area. And we have a madman on the loose here.
That's kind of interesting
Manhunt.
with the heat waves, you know.
I know.
Well, thanks.
He did lie, according to those who are researching him. Only real stuff so far is food service industry. I found a few things. I'll tell you what I found on him. I'll tell you exactly what I found. I found this security company, another one. They were talking about one, but this one I found him and his wife were involved in numerous things. I saw a place called Soldier Security, Soldier, Souljer Security Company, LLC. That is affiliated with him. I saw a ministries that he's involved with, a nonprofit called Reformation Ministries, INC. I found that up on him. I found another thing with the food called You Give Them Something to Eat, INC. You Give Them Something to Eat, INC. I found that. And then I also found something him and his wife are both affiliated with called the International Society of Employment Appreciation, LLC. So those are some of the things that I found affiliated with his name just on a basic general search. I haven't really, since this is all fluid, I really haven't done the deep dive, but I'll let you guys fill it all in and share. Just like we've been getting comments in the chat, like Sean sharing a little bit about this area and the mindset of this guy and what they're doing here to find and apprehend this guy. I definitely do see a lot of overseas security, and it just makes me wonder, if his wife was fleeing or him fleeing, were they trying to go to Canada and flee to Canada and take an international flight and kick, bounce? I mean, who knows? Who knows? But we are south of Minneapolis, which is just so much land like this. This is the terrain here. It does make me wonder if there's an underground bunker, booby traps, holes.
Welcome to Trinity.
Your daddy. Me and him stole enough gold, paved the streets of heaven. In case it ain't obvious, you will find that gold.
It's possible to have justice and leave a few hearts beating. What we want is not gold. It's blood.
I got ambushing to do.
Friend this, fathers!
I always thought
He was smuggling Muslims into Minnesota. Lots of shell companies offshore, I bet. Well, thank you for the comment, Kay. People have said that too. With Hortman voting with Republicans over the funding for illegals, that was the final trigger because he knew his funding could be shut down. People have said that. But to me, you must have known that this vote was coming. If that was the case and he's waiting for the final vote to decide whether he's going to execute the plan or not, I still think what he did requires preparation going back. You just don't sit there and see a politician do a vote like that and do something like this so sophisticated. Like you have to be crazy to go to someone's home and do this just one time. The way he did it with the police vehicle, the fake outfit, the impersonation, all that. You got to be a psychopath and then leave and go to the next one, the next politician's home, just miles away and do this exact same thing. And who knows what he was going to do on beyond that. You're going to be crazy to do that. But I just don't think no one does that out of the whim like that. This manifesto, it takes a while. You just don't write a manifesto in just an hour or two after a vote. This manifesto was probably written for a while. He had his plans. But this one, the vote could have just set him off because people were talking about the vote. And her jumping across party lines. Some people feel like that was a betrayal. You know, she explained herself. Why she did that. But it's just a lot of unanswered questions here. Now, we saw large groups of law enforcement head over there to the left side of the screen, but we haven't seen anyone since. But we're all monitoring the live at the location here. So it looks like what that blue thing behind the car was not a body, but just a blue tarp and a black bag. So I know a lot of us were speculating about the if it was a body. Do we have a body? No, it doesn't appear like there's a body behind there. Man, this is wild, folks. JLR investigates as we continue to cover what in the heck is going on here as the manhunt continues for this psychopath out on the loose. Everyone in this general area. Oh, let me look at the county and how many people. Sibley County. What's the population here? Hopefully anyone that's Sibley County, just remain vigilant out there, man. Don't answer your door for anyone. Seriously. He might have masks impersonating real people. You know? Like, you don't know what this guy has. The entire county, according to AI Overview, says in 2023, there's only 15,000 people total in this entire county, south of Minneapolis. So it's not a heavily populated area. 15,000 the whole county. It consists of Green Isle, Winthrop, Henderson, Arlington, Gaylord, New Auburn, and Gibbon. So population doesn't really, it just since it literally, if you look on the map, like the population from 1970 on pretty much stayed the same. In 1970, this county had 15,845 people. In 2020, that's 15,080, or 2023, 15,084 people. It stayed at 15,000 pretty much for the last 40, 50 years. We're in Minnesota, just south of Minneapolis. And that's a great question, Jeff. Is he getting help? I want to take myself back to the Eric Rudolph case after the Olympic Park bombing, the Birmingham bomber, you know, and he takes off. Ron, thank you for the comment. I saw you. You're like the actor, Ron. We got Ron in the chat. I like that. Thank you. Eric Rudolph, right? Olympic Park bomber, abortion clinic in Alabama. He takes off and goes into the Appalachian Mountains in Murphy, North Carolina area, right? And it was out there literally on the run for like 5 years. 5 years out there on the run. And it appeared locals sympathetic to his views were shielding and hiding him at different points. He only got caught because a vigilant law enforcement officer saw him digging through the garbage. Who knows? I also want to think of the case of Eric Frein. The one that ambushed Pennsylvania State Police and went out in the woods and mountains. Some of these people, it looks like he's possibly trained for this type of deal. And, you know, who knows? He might be hunkering down or had an escape plan or had a plan after he was going to do this to just go under in an underground bunker somewhere. Now, technically speaking, he could be out there living for a while if he has food and water or help. The temperature there is supposed to get even warmer for the next couple of days, 70s and 80s. Where did the search party go? I think they went to the left. Saw a group come back. We're just going to wait and see. We're monitoring the situation in Minnesota. JLR Investigates real time. This is our second live while we're on this. And we'll see where this goes. Crazy, wild stuff here.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna come back when we get some more action. If we see something that's intriguing
and here we go.
Catch him. We'll be back to report.
So I don't know if this thing's gonna keep moving, if they're gonna move it over to the left.